Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
A bright young driver named Shaggy maneuvers for the lead in his double dyno turbo blaster.
Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf is the last of the Scooby-Doo Hanna-Barbera Superstar 10. Again, despite the shared appearances across all three, they do not share a universe. Especially since monsters like Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Mummy all have different designs from the last movie, with no acknowledgement of them having met Shaggy or any of their daughters. A huge monster rally is going on in Transylvania, and when the werewolf abandons the race on account of Dracula being a big jerk, they need to find a new one. Unfortunately for them, the latest person to become a werewolf is Shaggy. Once the spell is complete, Shaggy is forced to ride in Dracula's big race if he ever wants to become human again. I will admit, this is the one I had the most bias towards. This is the one I watched the most growing up out of the three. And a big part of it is because this movie just felt funnier than the others. There's a lot more slapstick going around regarding Dracula, his minions the Hunch Bunch, and all the other racers. By the way, I like these designs way better than the Ghoul School designs. They're all structured so that they can be menacing when they need to be, and goofy when they need to be. Especially Dracula and the Hunch Bunch. Dracula in general is the star of the show here. It's weird seeing people act like he's the head honcho, that he's the big boss of the monster world, especially when no one gives him any respect. The humans he forces to watch the race react with dull interest, except for when Dracula is in pain. The other monsters are quick to take Drac down a peg if they talk nasty to them. Even the entire plot kicks off because the werewolf was done with Dracula's nonsense and he just dipped. So when they want Dracula to feel like a threat, that falls through. Ghoul School did a better job in that department. But that's fine because the majority of the time he's treated like a joke, and some of the best jokes of the movie come at his expense. Shaggy is really great here too. Him being a famous race car driver is a really weird wrinkle, especially since he's not often shown driving the Mystery Machine. But for the sake of the movie, I'll buy it. I also like his characterization here. He's still really cowardly, but he's had enough of it once he's finally ingrained into the whole race and monster society. Him being the victim of some supernatural nonsense is great too. I like to see members of the gang being manipulated by forces like these in one way or another once in a while. It makes for some good dynamic. I also like the inclusion of Googie. She's a little flat in the character department, only really existing as Shaggy's girlfriend, but it is nice to see Shaggy in a wholesome relationship, even if Shaggy often doesn't give back what Googie gives him. Googie is another character I'd like to see come back in a future show or movie. Scooby and Scrappy also feel like they have less to do in this movie. This is very much Shaggy's story. If I have any negatives in this movie, it's that the animation is not great. I'm not sure if the reason for it is because of the switch to digital ink instead of hand inked cell animation, but the animation can get really weird. The movements look off sometimes, Dracula's fangs will randomly grow, and especially this shot here of Drac being run over by a train. I'm gonna be absolutely honest, it might be the worst animated of the three Superstar 10 Scooby movies. The story itself is a lot more simple than the others. Again, no real mystery to solve, and the story just kind of devolves once it gets to the race. It's Shaggy gets ahead in the race. Dracula attempts to sabotage him to keep him a werewolf. He fails. Rinse and repeat until fully bleached. All in all, I really do love The Reluctant Werewolf. Despite the bad animation and the story kind of getting too simple at the end, I love the comedy, I love Dracula, and I love the designs of all the monsters. Shaggy being a race car driver and having a loving and supporting girlfriend we've never seen before definitely comes out of nowhere, but it's not an unwelcome change. Solid movie, 8 out of 10. Now get ready, because now we're entering an unexpected land. A dangerous land. A deadly land. It's a land of Hanna-Barbera crossovers. Next up is Scooby-Doo in Arabian Nights. My name is Crit. Thank you for watching.